Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investor channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. In this episode, we're going to cover a project that is yet again another project that is listed on Coinbase recently. And this project is called the Polymath token, right? Again, as always guys, I highly recommend you guys to do your own research on any of the projects that we cover on our channel. For this project, I recommend you guys to go to the website polymath.network in order to learn more about this project, right? So right off the bat, before we talk about this project, if you are wondering why I'm covering a lot of projects that are listed on Coinbase, it's because of the fact that since Coinbase is one of the biggest, one of the most popular exchanges in the world, and since they have recently gone public, they're having a mission of listing as many high quality projects as they can. Obviously, because these projects, when you trade them on Coinbase basically takes a cut out of the profit, and that's how they generate revenue, right? And now that they're a public company, they have to definitely make a lot of money, and by listing many tokens, they're facilitating trades to happen on these kind of exotic cryptocurrencies, and that's one of the reasons why they're listing all these tokens, right? But from a customer perspective, if you see, as a retail investor, you and I, if you get into crypto, we would definitely want to get into a project that is vetted out. Even though I tell you guys to do your own research, a lot of people still want someone else to do the research on your behalf, right? And if you basically trust Coinbase has been around for a long time, and they have listed some of the biggest and the best quality projects so far. So people obviously recognize that any project that is listed on Coinbase has already been properly and thoroughly vetted, because if Coinbase lists a project that is a scam or that rug pulls on them, then the reputation of Coinbase suffers, and that's something that they don't want now that they're a publicly traded company, right? So that's one of the reasons why I feel like I have to cover a lot of projects that are already listed on Coinbase, and I'll continue to cover a lot of projects that will be listed on Coinbase as well as Binance and a couple of other exchanges as well. So now that is out of the way, I just want to go to the coin market cap page for Polymath and their native token Poly, and I'll basically go through the information present in CoinMarketCap as an overview, so that you guys can obviously do your own research before you invest your hard-earned money onto this token, right? So what is Polymath? Polymath is a decentralized Ethereum project built with the goal of making it easier to create and manage security tokens. The ST20 Polymath standard, which is an ERC 1400 standard, allows users to embed regulatory requirements into the tokens themselves to restrict trading to verified participants, simplifying the challenges of creating a security token. Over 220 tokens have been created using the Polymath platform. So again, it's a very interesting project, and again, one of the main reasons that Coinbase listed it is not only because it's a good quality project with a very unique value proposition, but they are the Polymath team are basically dealing with a problem. They're trying to solve a problem that is currently existent in the cryptocurrency space. So if you see any cryptocurrency that's traded in the US or even in Japan and even in the EU, right? Several other countries as well, may get targeted by the regulatory bodies as a security, right? So if it's a security, which is something, if you don't know what a security is, there's a lot of video that covers this topic on YouTube. But to give you a quick rundown, a security is anything that can be traded on a stock exchange, right? So all stocks, ETFs, and all of the other kind of like tradable assets are called securities, and they're usually issued by a corporation or a company, which is either traded publicly, right? Or in other cases is a basket of stocks that represents an ETF, right? So it's a lot of there's a lot of information available on the internet for you guys to understand what a security is. But if a project is deemed a security, they are supposed to undergo a very strict regulatory procedure regardless of which jurisdiction they are from, right? So in order to there's obviously a murky territory in the cryptocurrency space whether a particular token can be classified as a security or not. And if it does get classified as a security, it will have to undergo much more stricter regulations, which means there's a lot of opportunities that the project's innovations would get stifled, right? So now that being said, there is obviously a requirement in the crypto space to automatically identify whether a project or a token is a security or not, right? And that's where Polymath comes into play. Polymath, first of all, is itself a Ethereum-based project. So Polymath runs on top of the Ethereum blockchain, and its main goal is to enable the creation and management of security tokens, right? So any token that gets created on Polymath automatically becomes a security token. The reason is they're using this unique mechanism, which we'll cover later on. But if you see the ST20 Polymath standard, which is an ERC 1400 standard, allows users to embed regulatory requirements into the tokens themselves to restrict trading to verified participants. So again, when you create a token on Polymath, due to the ST20 Polymath standard, which is an ERC 1400 token, this allows this particular version of tokens. Again, there's multiple ERC standards within Ethereum blockchain, right? Let's say, for example, ERC20 is the most commonly used token standard, which means you can basically issue a token that will be associated with a smart contract or a dApp, and that will basically be used as a currency for payment or transaction within the dApp or ecosystem, right? ERC 721 is another token standard on Ethereum, which is mostly associated with NFTs or non-fungible tokens, because they are all non-fungible tokens themselves, right? And the ERC 1400, which is a less well-known standard on the Ethereum blockchain, is being used by Polymath, and the ERC 1400 basically serves to allow a token to be embedded with the regulatory rules within the token itself, which means the token is completely regulated by function, right? And that makes it very unique, because it's a very unique innovation which may initially be very hard to understand, but once you think about it, you are basically building in the regulatory requirements within the token, and thereby the token always becomes compliant, thereby becoming a security, right? So that approach has made Polymath a very unique project, which I personally am very impressed with, and I'm definitely going to probably buy a bag of it because of my personal liking of what they're doing. But if you want to invest in this token, obviously you need to do your research, right? But moving on to the information about Polymath itself, simplifying the challenges of creating a security token. So if you are to create a security token, if you are to create a token, right, and you want to know whether it's a security token or not, you have to basically kind of like go through the Howey's test, which is a test in the US, in order to determine whether a token is considered as a security or not, right? But when it comes to any token that's built on top of the Polymath ecosystem, you don't need to worry about human intervention to determine whether a token is a security or not, because the code or the algorithm or the blockchain itself within the Polymath ecosystem decides whether a token becomes a security or not based on this very simple but elegant and more efficient procedure, right? So based on this method, there's currently about 220 tokens that are actually acting as securities or that are running on the Polymath platform. And here is a link which you can basically use to check this information, which we'll check out in a few seconds right now. But again, now that we established what Polymath is and what Polymath does, I was personally very curious to know who the founders were, and that's basically going to transition us to the second paragraph that questions who founded Polymath, right? So Polymath was founded by Trevor Coverco. Again, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, Trevor, but Trevor is basically the main founder of the Polymath project, right? After starting his career at Wall Street and Silicon Valley, Trevor became involved in the blockchain community and financed projects such as Ethereum, EOS, and Shapeshift. In 2017, Trevor co-founded Polymath. He is an investor at Luminex, Royalty Exchange, Shapeshift, and Block.one. So this Trevor, again, he's a less well-known character in the crypto space, but he's basically the main founder of the Polymath project. And if you see his background, he's clearly very well he's very well knowledgeable in the stock as well as security, security aspects of projects, because he clearly worked in Wall Street and Silicon Valley, so he knows pretty much about stocks and bonds and all the other stuff that is being traded on a large scale in Wall Street. And he became involved in the blockchain community, and he financed projects such as Ethereum, EOS, and Shapeshift, right? So he basically financed projects that he thought was obviously successful, and many of them many of them were already successful, but a few less well-known projects were basically Shapeshift, right? Which is currently becoming way more popular due to their move with the Fox token. So in 2017, Trevor co-founded Polymath. So the origins of Polymath only dates back to 2017. It's again, in the grand scheme of things, it's a drop in the bucket when it comes to the period of time that has lapsed since 2017. But in the crypto space, 2017 is probably considered as an eternity, because things happen extremely fast and rapidly in crypto space, and 2017 is considered to be one of the oldest time periods in the crypto space, right? So he also invested in projects such as Luminix, Royalty Exchange, Shapeshift, and Block.one. Again, some of the projects that he's invested in. So Polymath has team members and contributors worldwide, and a growing list of over 50 service providers. Again, you can see some of the service providers for Polymath by clicking on the link here. So that kind of like completes the founder information of Polymath. So now, again, since they don't really have a lot of information about the security, because again, since it's running on the Ethereum blockchain, it's basically leveraging the security of Ethereum. So thereby it doesn't really need a lot of explanation about its security. So let's go to the actual website for Polymath and try to dig deep on what other information that we can get, right? So going to polymath.network, you can clearly see that the first thing that pops up is basically join running with the bulls on Polymesh ITN now. Again, it could be confusing and a bunch of gibberish to many people, but if you click on that, you'll basically get to access some information about trading security tokens on the Polymath exchange. But if you go here, security tokens start here. Polymath provides technology to create, issue, and manage digital securities on the blockchain. Again, pretty much something that we already covered. If you want to, for some reason, create your own security token, then you can contact them for more information, right? So Polymath is leading the security token revolution. Over 200 tokens have been deployed using our Ethereum-based solution, and we are now in the midst of launching Polymesh, an institutional-grade blockchain built specifically for regulated assets. Again, one of the information that we firstly saw here about Polymesh basically ties down to the project that they're trying to expand to, which is now that they have established token standards that have built-in security functions that makes them a security by default, they're trying to expand on that by building blockchain, their own blockchain called Polymesh, which will be a blockchain specifically for regulated assets. And the important word that you need to highlight here is an institutional grade blockchain, which means this blockchain will definitely attract a lot of institutions, because institutions, even though a lot of institutions are getting into crypto, many of them are still worried about the regulatory implications of the cryptocurrency space, and they still see cryptocurrency as this, a gambling, or even worse than gambling sort of like activity that could make them either lose money or gain money, but at the same time they could also be shut down by the regulatory bodies worldwide, right? So having said that, I believe that the Polymesh blockchain would definitely attract a lot of institutional investors to invest not only in tokens within the Polymesh ecosystem, but also eventually expand out of the Polymesh ecosystem and buy or invest in tokens on Ethereum or other blockchain projects as well, right? Which is going to be a good thing for user adoption, as well as the cryptocurrency adoption in general, right? So 381 tickers reserved with 206 live tokens. Again, some of the numbers for some of the important tokens, and if you see here, they've said 381 tickers reserved, which means there's a lot more security tokens that will be eventually created on the Polymath ecosystem. So solutions powered by Polymath, solutions spanning the security industry. So here are some of the main solutions that they offer. So they offer white label solution. If you click on that, they'll basically provide information about what specific solution they offer. A new offering for your clients. So again, mostly catered towards institutional investors. If you see issuers, it says issue with Polymath. So this tells you how you can basically issue new security tokens with Polymath. And service providers, again, there's a bit of everything for everyone here. So join our ecosystem. You can basically join the service providers and also be a part of your KYC AML compliance mechanism, right? So overall, Polymath basically ensures that when you are buying a security token from Polymath, which is basically one of the 200 plus tokens that they have, you would have to do KYC AML compliance verification, as well as provide your personal information, so that you may be fully compliant before you can basically purchase any security tokens, right? So here are some of the information that's communicated by information presented by other projects. If you see, the CEO and founder of Red Swan Cream Marketplace, CTO of DigiVault, and managing partner of Intoro have all made statements about Polymath in a positive way, which you can also learn here. And if you want to learn more about Polymesh, which is the blockchain that is going to be fully securities compliant, that's also something that's coming in. So Polymesh, a blockchain built for security tokens, will be going live in March 2021. Get a behind the scenes look at the brand new token studio in this quick 3-minute demo. So again, based on their website, it seems like the Polymesh blockchain is already live, but I personally believe that it's still extremely in its early stages and not really something that's well spoken about. So you could probably get into it very early if you feel like it's a good opportunity, right? But if you see, the YouTube video provides a quick overview of what Polymesh does. So that's something that you guys can obviously add to do your own research project. So why Polymath? So why would you choose Polymath? Driving efficient capital markets. So again, some of the main concerns is the lack of efficiency when it comes to securities versus non-security tokens, right? So if you take the XRP issue, for example, the SEC came hard on XRP, but it seems like XRP is kind of like firing back at SEC. But overall, this situation could have been completely avoided if there has been a clear guidelines from the SEC on whether XRP constitutes a security or not, or whether any cryptocurrency, they should probably have an amended regulatory requirements to classify cryptocurrencies within the same scope of the Howey test, right? So any clarification would have potentially provided a lot of insights for not only XRP but also for other cryptocurrencies, so that they could have avoided the situation altogether, right? But Polymath is aiming to completely supervent all those things by basically creating tokens that are fully compliant by default, right? And that's hard coded into their system. And as you know, humans are inefficient. Coding and robots and artificial intelligence are way more efficient than human beings. So by building it into the system, you're basically making it foolproof, and you're basically making it a part of the code itself, and that's going to drive a lot of innovation in the future. And if you see, it's also open source. It's all standardized, ERC 1400 standards to be specific, and it's also modular, which means you can basically build for any jurisdiction that you want. It could be for Japan, the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, so on and so forth, right? It can be automated. Again, there's no human intervention, so it's fully automated. It can run in autopilot end to end. It's obviously goes from the creator to the user with no middleman, and purpose built, which is something that's coming soon, which means basically the Polymesh ecosystem. Again, even though they said that it's going to be available from March 2021 based on the coming soon logo that I'm seeing here right now, it seems like it's still in the works, but I believe that maybe we can definitely see that rolling out fully by the end of this year, right? So if you want to use Polymath, and you want to if you're a big institution who wants to use Polymath, if you're a retail investor who wants to invest in security tokens through Polymath, then you can basically contact them for more information, right? And here are some of the most important blog posts that they have, some of the projects that are basically either talking about this project, or some of the projects that are working with this project. So those lists are provided here as well. So if you want to create your own security token, obviously contact here, and their contact information and other information are also given here, right? So again, it's a very well explained website, very simple but very elegant, and tries to communicate as much information as it can. If you go to the top right corner, you can read their white label issue, as well as you can join their ecosystem as well. You can read their white paper, you can access their testnet, and you can access other resources as well, right? So overall, a very robust and self-sustainable project, which is also a very important innovation in the crypto space, as we know. So I just want to quickly go to the mainnet, the platform, in order to see how many tokens are listed. So if you click on the information presented in CoinMarketCap, you'll basically have access to this, right? So I'm having some trouble accessing this because I think my internet isn't that great. But overall, if you go to this page, if you click on, if you go to what is Polymath, and then go to the bottom of the first question and click on the link, you'll basically be given access to this. So again, the page is opened. So if you see here, they have provided information about some of the tokens that are fully compliant. So GDXT is the example of the token, is an example of one of the token that is fully compliant with the securities rule, and you can clearly see that they have their version number, and you can clearly see the owner who created it, and the token address, the token ticker, the name, and the block when it was created, as well as the time, right? So this was created on the 23rd of July, and so yeah, basically you can use this information to access information about tokens that are available on Polymath, and here are some of the other tokens as well. These are all the tickers that are reserved, which means these will be created soon, but they also have expiration date, which means if they are not really created, or if they're not really availed, then the ticker symbol would be expired, and it probably is available for another project or an institution to create their own token, right? So again, this page provides a lot of information about the tokens themselves that are available on Polymath, and you can basically read through this when you have the chance. But overall, there's a lot of technical information that may or may not fully be concerning everybody else, but it's still good resource to keep in mind, right? So let's go to the CoinMarketCap page for the Poly token, which is native token of the Polymath ecosystem. So this token is currently ranked 179th by market cap on CoinMarketCap, and is currently trading at 26 cents per token, with a 3.33% decrease in the past 24 hours, right? If you see, this project is basically trying to make securities a default phenomenon within the cryptocurrency space, and it gives securities a new meaning through the crypto space. And for the regulatory compliance that this project is focusing on, its market cap is just less than $200 million in market cap, which means not a lot of people are, first of all, going to be able to fully understand this project. And even if they understand it, they may not necessarily be fully interested in investing money in this token, because crypto space, the crypto space exists to kind of replace the existing financial ecosystems, right? Which also includes replacing the regular terminologies used for securities or classifications from a centralized authority in the federal or the municipal or state level or provincial level, right? But Polymath is basically trying to make tokens compliant within the centralized context of financing, right? And that's probably one of the reasons why a lot of people are not really fully actively investing in this token, even though it's listed on Coinbase. But I personally believe that there will be a lot of institutions who will be driving the demand for this token, not necessarily retail investors, but for institutions who definitely invest in this token, they can definitely push the token's market cap somewhere around $250 to $300 million in the upcoming months. But I think in the long run, this token can overall reach somewhere between $750 million to $1 billion in market cap in the next 5 to 10 years, right? Again, with with their own blockchain that's coming out, I think Polymesh, that's going to definitely drive a lot of adoption, and that will definitely push the market cap of this token extremely high, right? If you take a look at the total supply, the token has a total supply of 1 billion tokens, and out of that, only about 618 million tokens are in circulation. Again, which is around, I believe, 61%, right? So overall, it's not a bad number, but you can still see that despite a decent chunk of tokens in circulation, the price hasn't really done a lot of activity, and I don't think it will do a lot more in the future as well, unless a lot of institutions adopt this token. I doubt the retail investors would definitely consider this token, especially people who want to come out of the traditional financial ecosystem and get into the crypto space. They don't want to see security-based tokens that are hard-coded into their code in the crypto space, because they are basically coming out of the traditional ecosystem for a reason, right? So it's going to be very hard to say where this token would be when it comes to price-wise, because it all depends on institution as well as regulatory intervention and so on and so forth. And it's going to be interesting to see, but I do believe that the token can easily go above its current price point, right? When you take the chart itself, you can clearly see that whatever I said is pretty much coming to fruition, because of the fact that this token has a very kind of like a regulatory tarnish to it. The token hasn't really done a lot in the years it has existed. So the price point for this token was 69 cents per token on February 4th of 2018. And it kind of like went to an all-time highs of about $1.60 before crashing back down, making extremely huge volatile peaks till 2018, end of 2018. But then the token has reached a very flat period of time, flat price point of 2 cents, which is the all-time lows as well, throughout 2020. And during the early 2021, January 2021 phase, the token went from 9 cents to a relatively all-time highs of about 70 cents per token, and now it's kind of like going in a downward trend. It seems like the token is going to move sideways for a foreseeable future, but obviously there could be a lot of other factors that can also be controlled. If a big institutional whale were to invest in this token, I think this token can easily pump again, right? Since its trading volume is also relatively low, despite being listed on Coinbase, I think there will be a lot of volatility for this token. So I request all my viewers to bear extreme caution, because it's an extremely volatile token, right? In the Bitcoin competitive, on the other hand, you can clearly see that the token was initially worth $14,000 200 satoshis as of February 2nd, 2018, and it was pretty much volatile, and it kind of like reached an all-time low of about 3,700 satoshis for pretty much the entirety of 2020, and then during early January 2021, the token kind of like had a small blip, which again made the price go up to 9,300 to 9,500 satoshis per token. But now it's kind of relatively flat, and it's probably going to move sideways for the foreseeable future, right? So if you are looking to buy this token, the Bitcoin comparative would probably be the best opportunity to buy, because it's pretty much close to its all-time lows. But for dollar comparative, I'm pretty sure this token is going to go sideways and maybe even break below the 20 cents mark, which would also be a good buy opportunity, right? If you feel like this token is a good investment to buy into, right? Again, that's not financial advice, it's just my opinion, guys. If you go to the market, you can clearly see that this token has a lot of liquidity on Binance as well as Coinbase. It's also available on Huobi Global, Poloniex, Xerex. It's also available on Uniswap, obviously, because it's an Ethereum-based project. You can also buy it from SushiSwap and several other tier 3 exchanges. But I believe if you can get it from Binance and Coinbase, I don't really think you should go beyond that. Or you can get it from Uniswap as well, right? So I don't think you need to go beyond Uniswap, Coinbase, SushiSwap as well as Binance. But yeah, overall, what's my verdict on this token? I think this token has some challenges to overcome. Despite being listed on Binance and Coinbase, this token hasn't really performed that well. That's because of the cryptocurrency ethos, which basically wants to come out of the traditional financial ecosystem and set its own futuristic financial ecosystem, which is basically why cryptocurrencies are an ambiguity compared to traditional stocks and real estate, as well as so many other assets, right? But Polymath is trying to bridge it, and it could be a very innovative project in and of itself, but the attention or the attraction that this project is getting from specifically retail investors is extremely low, right? But that doesn't mean that this project is not going to succeed, because institutions are the main groups that this project is basically trying to cater to. And as institutions start moving towards Polymath as the Poly mesh, I think this token will get a lot of capital injected into it, which will pump the token price to maybe 30 to 50 cents in the next couple of months. And by the end of this bull run, I think this token can easily cross its previous all-time highs and even touch the $2 mark per token, right? And for the 5 to 10 year long-term potential for this token, I think this token can easily reach $5 to $10 range, right, in the long term, because I think a lot more institutions will definitely get into crypto space, and projects like Polymath will be the projects that they will try to come into, because this project is definitely focused on maintaining the regulatory framework, as well as making sure that all the tokens that are created on its platform are fully compliant and are not rug pulls or that are not by teams that are anonymous and so on and so forth, right? So I think this project has a lot of innovation that will definitely be used in other parts of crypto. But when it comes to price wise, I'm pretty sure that this project is going to go ballistic, and that's something that we'll be seeing pretty soon, right? Mostly because of institutional investors, but not necessarily because of retail investors, right? Again, remember guys, you guys are not regular investors, you guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. Thank you very much for watching my video, guys. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye.